USFL fans, how are you doing? Well, we started out the weekend with the most meaningless game of the year in Memphis and Arlington. Then we went to the most hyped, meaningful game, which happens to be the game of the year right now because it was exciting. Like I said, it wasn't an ESPN Instant Classic, but we did have 7 lead changes. So a lot of stuff going on in that game. And right now it's by far the game of the year. Now we move to Sunday's games, and we'll go to what I call the most disappointing game of the week, and that is my DC Defenders laying an egg against the Michigan Panthers. And right now we have the team motto is pretty much, well, our motto is pretty much shields up. Right now there are a lot of holes in that shield right now, and there are a lot of arrows that are getting through these shields. It is a season. It started as a season as getting back to the championship game we should have won last year. And when you see what's going on with the DC team right now, it makes last year's championship game that much more painful. And when you see Arlington at 1-6, it just adds more salt into the wound. The Michigan Panthers came in yesterday playing 2 brand new quarterbacks, Bryce Perkins and Brian Lewerke, because both E.J. Perry and Daniel Etling were out. And Bryce Perkins looked like a world beater yesterday. 11 of 13, 116 yards, no touchdowns, no deceptions, but he managed the game well. Brian Lewerke, not so good, 5 of 13, 37 yards, but he didn't need to do much. The fact that the Michigan Panthers ran for 187 yards on that Greg Williams defense, it made Bryce Perkins' job that much simpler. I mean, this game was, I wouldn't say as bad as St. Louis was 2 weeks ago, but we never got into second gear. And beginning of the year, when we know we were not going to have Chris Blair, Hammond, and Lucky Jackson, and then Aiden Smith went down, and next thing you know, we lost. Our offensive line wasn't as strong, and yesterday we saw both Jordan Tiamu go down as well as DeAndre Francois go down, and then came our third-string callback, Jalen McClendon, who I have no problem with, really, because I thought he performed pretty good last year with the Las Vegas Vipers. But Jordan Tiamu was the entire, pretty much, DC offense this year. And he left on the game concussion protocol because he took that hit in the third quarter. And it was pretty much down there from there. And the Michigan Panthers defense was all over the defenders. On top of that, we lost another offensive lineman. I think 2 offensive linemen yesterday went down injured. I'm not sure of the extent of their injuries, but as a result, DC's now 3-4. Michigan is now 5-2. And Michigan Panthers are now officially in the playoffs. DC is on the brink right now. Right now, the Defenders now go on a 2-game road trip to both St. Louis and Memphis. First up is St. Louis, and last game against St. Louis at home, it was ugly, and if Jordan Tiamu is now playing this week, it could be the end of our season. If both if both the Battlehawks and Brahmas win this week, they both go to the conference game, and DC is going home, and it'll be see ya next year. Rushing yards was 187 to 58 in favor of the Panthers, and that was a game right there. 332 yards, 235 yards of offense in favor of the Panthers. Time of possession was 34 to 25 in favor of Michigan. And this game was over before it really started. I mean, the DC passing game was decent until, and again, Kevin Harmon, our best receiver, went down with injury. So I am not very hopeful. We pretty much have our Final Four set. Half of it's complete. We're going to have Michigan and Birmingham in one conference final. It's most likely going to be St. Louis and San Antonio the other one. DC still in it. Mathematically, yes. There's still a chance. But the way these injuries are piling up right now for DC, and there isn't a whole lot of confidence, I don't see him going very far. I don't see it happening. I'm trying to be hopeful, but good Lord. It is getting ugly in DC. But hey, kudos to the Michigan Panthers defense. They've been great all year. I mean, the Michigan Panthers had the worst odds to win the championship this year, and they're headed to the playoffs. So there you go. I mean, how bad was it? 7 minutes ago in the fourth quarter yesterday, down 22-9, and Coach Reggie Barlow, for this reason, decides to punt the ball, knowing you need 2 scores. So that tells you how confident the coaching staff was in the offense, losing all those guys yesterday. But hey, it is what it is. Michigan deserved to win that game yesterday. Michigan's now has won 3 straight. They're on a roll, and if I were any team in this league, you probably should not sleep on the Michigan Panthers. And the final game of the weekend. So we went from the most winless game to the greatest game of the year, to the most disappointing game of the weekend, to the wild card. I didn't know how this San Antonio-Houston game was going to go. San Antonio has a good team. I don't think they're that good. Houston can play defense. They did get back Jarrett Gorentino yesterday, and it didn't help much because, my goodness, that Houston offense, like I said, that's like watching a Buddy Ryan team almost. Old defense and a pure vanilla, no pulse offense. I don't know how else to put it. And this was a winnable game for Houston. And the difference between this game yesterday is the one time San Antonio was able to score one time in the red zone, and that's all they needed. They were 1-4. Houston was 0-2. When they were inside the 5-yard line, I think both times they only came away with 2 field goals. This is how bad that Houston offense is. And when San Antonio did score a touchdown in the red zone, they also converted the 3-point conversion. That was a difference in the game. And, of course, they went on the last-second field goal. And as a result, San Antonio is now 5-2. They're tied for first with the Battlehawks, but the Battlehawks hold the tiebreaker right now. Houston goes to 1-6 on a game they could have easily won yesterday. There wasn't much off in this game. I mean, San Antonio had 241 yards. Houston couldn't even break 200, 185 yards. Time of possession was exactly 30 minutes apiece. And the other difference was 2 field goals for the Browns were off DC turnovers. Houston got a field goal off of one San Antonio. And even with the turn of Jarrett Gorentino, 11-18, 121 yards, he wasn't awful, but he has nothing to work with over in that offense. He has nothing. Quentin Dormady, 10-24, 142 yards, 1 interception. He's kind of disappointed me. I thought he would bring a different element to the Brahmas passing game. I thought he's having a better last year with the Orlando Guardians than he is having this year with a better team. So, as far as that goes, I kind of miss Chase Garbers right now because you do want to see a competitive championship game. And right now, even though the Brahmas and the Battlehawks are tied for first, you could clearly see that as long as A.J. McCarron's in, the Battlehawks are just much better. But yet, this game was good. If you like defense, this was a good game to watch. It wasn't a bad game. Was it a great game? No. But it wasn't terrible either. So, it'd be interesting how the ratings turned out this weekend. We had one really good game, one decent game, and one bad game and one real big time yawner. Anyway, comments down below. What's your opinion? I'd like to know. For the love of football, UFL fans, we will talk to you later.